Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Age of Mythology Retold, and welcome back to the Kaiser Cup. Let's dive right in. We have, in the blue, Casper, playing as Poseidon, versus in the red, MFD, playing as Uranus. Greeks versus Atlanteans, let's go. In today's video, by the way, I've decided to turn off the webcam. I'm really curious, at kind of a meta YouTube level, which do you guys prefer? Do you like it when the webcam is on, or do you prefer it off? Anyway, it's off in today's video. Let's take a look at our map really quickly. We're on Alfheim. That's been a very popular one. Now, the rules of the tournament have it as random, so it's just luck that Alfheim keeps showing up. It doesn't surprise me. It's a good thing. Lure is used by Poseidon. It's a good call. I like it. Using it early, it basically works like a free granary. That is key wood that you can put elsewhere. I am guessing that as soon as Poseidon hits 150 gold, he throws down a temple without having to collect a single bit of wood, thanks to the power of lure. I'm very interested to see Uranus' strategy. I am not sure the strats that you can use with Uranus. Obviously, you have to keep in mind the power of the sky passages. Uranus is very good at seeing things across the map, moving units across the map. Very flexible civ in that way. This should be a really fun matchup. Sure enough, here comes a temple. Interesting that he's keeping the 2 villas on gold. I would have assumed... Yeah, he's actually putting more on gold. So I would say this is probably not a fast Age 2 strat. I think that if he were trying to rush into Age 2 as quickly as possible, he'd be moving the villas off of gold onto food to get to Age 2 ASAP. But I guess he wants that broader economy to make sure he can actually afford to do things with that temple. Tell me, guys, how are y'all liking Age of Mythology Retold so far? It's been out for a little while now. I love this game. I think that it has... I just get the vibe that it has legs and it has a staying power that other Age of Empires games, like AoE 2 is the king, right? Just from a popularity point of view, and in my personal point of view, AoE 2 is just top dog, right? I love Age of Empires 3, but, you know, I mean, I think it hasn't necessarily stuck in the way that fans of the games want. I'm hoping with the next DLC coming out later this year, maybe there'll be another really big push to catapult AoE 3 into that level of popularity. It is a free-to-play game. You know, you can download it right now and try it out. So I love AoE 3, but I don't think AoE 3 has the same popularity that AoE 2 does, or close to it. And AoE 4, for that matter, I don't think has the popularity that you would have expected a sequel in the Age of Empires world to get. So I think AoE 2 is kind of the top dog, but I think that there's something about Age of Mythology that is going to give it some legs. And we see Prometheans out on the field. There's the sky passage. Okay, cool. I've actually never seen one of these before. I need to play more around this. This looks awesome. That is a very, very cool structure. Is it supposed to be floating in the air? Because it kind of looks like it's just generating smog. It's a smog machine.
Mureg.
Promethean versus Centaur. Yeah, with Micro, the Centaur should win this. But can you maybe save your Oracle? What's going on here? Alright, we have Ceasefire. Valor already being used. That's an interesting choice. Yes. To keep the Promethean from shutting down this second settlement. I like it. Smart play. Right now, Oranos has an eco lead. MFD has an eco lead. But if the settlement is allowed to go up, which it will. There it is. Yeah, you're not stopping that. And in fact, if this Promethean goes down, it becomes little mini Prometheus. Promethean offspring. One down. Yeah. There we go. 2 down. 3 down. And there it is. Okay. And somehow, that scout, the kind of Scopus, stays alive.
Scopus?
Hero Vills.
Hepjos?
Awesome. Hero villagers or hero citizens. They gather resources even better than normal. I like this pick here. MFD has a really good economy right now. And I wonder if we're going to see him transition onto a second settlement to kind of follow up. Because he knows that Casper has it. Right? So, will we see him go for the second settlement? Will we see him go for early aggression? Or will we just see Casper... I'm sorry, not Casper. MFD simply fall behind? I don't know. I gotta give Casper credit. That was a really good use of Ceasefire. That's how you want to use Ceasefire. You don't just want to throw that away. I think the noob in me first looked at Ceasefire and thought, it's kind of useless, you know, what am I going to do with 30 seconds? But if you time it right, especially in these tight openings where, 30 seconds could make or break a strategy, being able to use it at critical moments, like there, making sure that settlement goes up. If he doesn't have Ceasefire, the Promethean probably stops it from going up. At least gets, 3 or 4 kills. Stable now, going for Poseidon. That makes sense. Poseidon is a cavalry god. Lord of horses. It's not necessary that he goes cav, but if you're playing to Poseidon's strength, you're going to go cav.
Scopus?
And the Sky Passage has brought in Murmilos. In and out. You'd love to see it. That's really cool. I wonder when Casper's going to siege down this Sky Passage. Get back. Oh, we got some heroes. This will be interesting.
Bureg.
Increases the range and line of sight of ranged soldiers. This would be a very good relic pickup, especially if you're going to go archers. But I think he's just scouting right now, so not collecting that relic. Speaking of, while there's sort of a lull in the action, let's look at the other relics. Villagers are cheaper. Oh, that's a good one. Look at this. Myth units are more resistant to pierce damage. Okay. Probably not as cool. Maybe very cool if you're going to go into a myth army and if your opponent is massing up archers. That's awesome. But otherwise, provides a small trickle of favor. Not bad, not bad. It is one of the weird things about Age of Mythology I'm having to wrap my head around is this idea that, relics have their own unique feature, so you shouldn't just instinctively grab all the relics. You gotta figure out what relics are worth your time. And there's a fight that is gonna go in MFD's favor. That's basically one free. He's gonna get away. He's gonna get away. But he's not. That's 2 down.
Yuji?
Wow, these guys are fast.
Bureg.
I mean, the Hepeus are barely faster than the hero.
Scopus?
Than the Murmillo there. That's kind of wild. Attacking the wrong cav unit. That hero goes down. Alright, at least you got something in the trade there. Scoreboard has MFD up about 2,000 points, which is interesting because Casper does have an eco lead and a military lead. It must be... Let's look at the map real quick. Alright, here's everything MFD sees. Here's everything Casper sees. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that at least part of that is the map. I know if I were in Casper's shoes right now, I would be fretting about, you know, the scoreboard and thinking I'm losing. When really, right now, at least from a numbers perspective, I would say... I mean, look, population, right? Poseidon has the better pop numbers. Yeah, I'd say he's winning. Now, there is the reality that I think the Murmillo army might be more effective than the Ipeus army. The centaurs are a nice touch. Are we getting more centaurs at the strat here? Age 3 coming up, Hyperion for Atlantis. Age 3 not on the way for the Greeks. We do see some eco upgrades coming in, which is cool. Medium cab coming online. But we're a little ways away from Age 3, and I would predict to you that as soon as that Age 3 comes in, the Greeks are going to be like, oh no, we got to get to Age 3. You're going to see production shut down so they can get to Age 3 fast. A second settlement, by the way, has come online for MFD. Military barrack units train faster. Here comes an upgrade for them. Gemini. Satires damage area effect by allowing them to throw more javelins. Are we going to see satires from Atlantis? Oh, that's cool. Shaft mine. A lot of eco upgrades coming in for Oranos. And I do think, how do I want to put this? You know, I love watching the battles, but it is these eco upgrades that are going to make or break these players. I mean, just the ability to gather gold faster, gather wood faster, gather food faster, and to resupply your army. It's nice. Really? I'm surprised at this defensive approach. Watchtower is coming up. I don't like that. You have a huge age lead right now. I'm surprised that we're not seeing some aggression.
Λέγε, έτοιμος. Πρόσταγμα.
Πρόσεχε.
We have. Look at the resources. Yeah. So right here, I mean, Blue's army. I believe this is the resource cost of the army. The value of the army that Poseidon is fielding right now is double that of MFD. He has 3 times the army numbers. And, okay, the eco has evened out. MFD has a slight eco lead. So I'm really surprised that even now, MFD has a nearly 4,000 point lead on the scoreboard. That's really surprising to me. I wonder if it's something about just the civs. Ooh, Hydras. Dionysia, increasing the HP of all units by a small amount. Heavy ranged soldiers. Okay. Really? We're going into... I don't think these upgrades help... okay, no. It does... Okay. Ballistics does assist the Centaur. I don't believe that most of the blacksmith techs upgrade your myth units. Like the archer upgrades, I don't think affect them, but ballistics does. That's good to know. Yeah, like I've said before, guys, if you're looking for a cast from someone who has already mastered the game, just knows all of the ins and outs, I am unfortunately not your guy. But I am having an absolute blast, really sort of learning the game as I cast, figuring things out. This Sky Passage will not stay standing for long, but it does give some warning to MFD, who has picked up a decent eco lead, 12 points of eco here. I'm noticing that the Greeks have sort of stopped their eco production. You know, 78 mils seems good to him. And that might make the difference here. A third settlement coming up for Poseidon. An important thing to know is each settlement that is claimed will... Oh, the fight is on now. I really don't like the use of bronze there. Like, you were being attacked, and you're not going to be attacked for the first half of that power's ability. Are you?
Λέγε.
I guess you're going raiding.
Πρόσταγμα.
Maybe, I mean, bronze does help with the arrow fire. I mean, you're getting value out of it. But I would have assumed you would have saved that power for a head-on confrontation with MFD's army. And if you thought you could take that fight, then you throw bronze down and swing it harder. Or you use bronze to kind of swing the fight. Like this right here. If you had your army ready to fight this, you get bronze out. MFD has gone so heavily into infantry. I'm surprised we're not seeing archer play. That would be the switch that I would be considering right now.
Λέγε.
Yeah, there we go. The heavy toxotes. I'm not sure if that X is pronounced like an X or a ch. Toxotes. I know that oftentimes in Greek, the X has a ch sound. Let's see, 2 archery ranges. Fortress coming online here. Look at the wood that both players are floating right now. Okay. Now, I am speaking as somebody who would do this too. Like, I'm not, you know, I'm able to say this because of kind of the bird's eye view that I've got here. And I think that MFD is actually doing what it's about to advise. You gotta mark it up and sell. You need to be selling that. You don't need to be floating thousands of wood. Both players are doing that. MFD, I think, was faster to course correct. And that actually might be huge. See, the scoreboard right now still has MFD up like 5,000 points. I don't think so, guys. I don't think so. Now, he's got the third settlement. 1, 2... Yeah. He's got the third settlement up. So, you have more max pop space. That's huge. And you do have an eco lead at this point. 22 vills, that's big. But, you know, you still have half the army. And this time,
Λέγε.
our Greek player has, you know, the archers. So I think you've got a response toward the Murmillo heavy army. Meanwhile, on MFD's side, it's Murmillos and Catapeltes, which are basically the spearmen, right? Counter cab infantry. Satire, what does he do? Range unit through a powerful. Well, okay, that's cool. I'm really curious to see how the Satire fights. Arcus, a couple of archers, not a lot. This, I think that Greece should win that fight. If it's a head-on battle, army versus army. Oh, good catch here, good catch. Age 4, by the way. on the way for both players. Chaos being used by MFD, throwing Casper's army in disarray. That sky passage will go down. That settlement, I think, was canceled or was destroyed very easily. Here is the... You're actually going to fight this? Now, don't get me wrong. These frontline heroes are very scary to the myth units. I feel like you have to pull the Hydra back. What do we have coming up, by the way? We have, from the Atlantean side, we have Helios coming in. Focus on siege weapons. Meanwhile, we have Artemis. Heroes and ranged soldiers, which I think makes sense because, yeah, when I'm looking at MFD's composition, I think archers is the play. Still, I think you have enough archers. I think you could take that, Greece. Just go fight. I may be wrong. I may be undervaluing the heroic element of Atlantis' army, but I think that Casper might be just a little bit, you know, gun shy to like start the fight. And I think that right now, and especially right now, because when you have a situation where you have the stronger army but the weaker economy, you need to start a fight sooner rather than later. The longer you wait, the more value your opponent is getting out of that economy. Okay, on the Greek side, we have Earthquake coming up. Target location to shatter nearby enemy buildings. That will be a really good boon for a siege. Meanwhile, on the... Oh, no. Vortex. Target a location to transport all of your military units there. Are we going to see some shenanigans? Sky Passage on steroids? Let's find out. Okay, now, pay attention to this. Here's the Earthquake. It's doing damage. It's great. It will not destroy the palace. What is this? The Mirror Tower, which looks awesome, but that goes down. Here we go. There's the Vortex. Chaos used again. Bronze. This is when I would use bronze, yeah. Now we have to hope that the archers do a better job against the infantry than the heroes do against the myth units. I am seeing Atlantean units fall faster than Greek units are. The scoreboard, though, is climbing for MFD. It's just strange to me. I don't see it. I see Red's army falling apart. The settlement is almost down. Almost down. There we go. Is this Hydra gonna die? It's really close. No, it's not. Okay, that was a fight that I think went well for Casper. What I am a little concerned about, though, look at the resupply coming in for Atlantis, leveraging that superior economy to get up another army. Greece has the eco, and I see resupply coming in there too. I don't know. I don't know. I am confused because right now, the scoreboard has MFD up 14,000 points. But what I'm eyeballing, the momentum is on Casper's side right now. These military barracks will go down. Wisely, it's not training out of them. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a win for Casper here. He's knocked out this little wing of the map. I wonder if he will claim the settlement and sort of shore up what he's accomplished so far, or if he's going to just press even deeper into the fight. Whoa, now this is big. Okay, we have 9, 12, 17, 18. We have, I want to say at least 18 or 19. A huge cavalry wing coming in for Atlantis that we've not seen thus far. And Greece does not have, trained up anyway right now, an anti-cavalry response to this. Switch over to Casper's point of view. Yeah, he doesn't see this. There is a champion hoplite. There are hoplites in the queue.
Πρόσταγμα, λέγε.
But
Έτοιμος.
you're gonna need a lot of hoplites, I think, in order to actually push that back. It's been my experience, at least in Age 2, that the hoplites, they don't really provide the anti-cavalry damage. It's like the numbers are important. Maybe with those champion upgrades. Chaos coming in again. That is a lot of favor being used at this point, but it's useful. I do think this is a fight that MFD should win. What a great tech switch. My heart goes out to Casper because I've been in his shoes before where it feels like you finally have the archer ball you need to deal with the annoying infantry problem. Only for a cav switch to just wreck your day. At this point, the score I think is making sense. The momentum is with MFD. You have now a 3-to-1 military advantage for MFD on top of the 20 eco. Okay, ceasefire called by Casper. Makes sense. What do you do with these 30 seconds of peace you bought yourself? Are you going with the Podromos? Makes a lot of sense. An anti-cav unit.
Έτοιμος.
I'm going all in on Podromos and hoplites, guys. We've got to deal with that cavalry force. Yeah, and Casper's now rebuilding this wing along the west side. I am really curious about the existence of these 3 archers that have been upgraded into heroes. Is it just that, you know, you got the resources, might as well make them heroes? Or is there a reason? Okay. That did not feel necessary, but it felt like maybe a way of saying, hey, we've won this thing. Give up already. Really good play by both players. I want to give kudos and credit to both players, but I'm thinking MFD. Put on a clinic for us. How to play Atlantis in the late game. This army, again, even as I speak, Greece is doing a good job fighting this back. The Podromos clearly putting in good work.
Skopos, UG.
It's always cool to watch the named heroes of Greece fight. I think that's one cool thing about Greece that no other faction has. You know, yeah, it's cool to fight with priests or, you know, hero cavalry, hero infantry, or whatever. But seeing Jason on the field or seeing Polyphemus as somebody who's read the stories, it's cool to see the named characters take part. If anything, I wish that they had some more power, more uniqueness. The Warden of Tartarus. I will send you to Hades. Wow. Just got that stomp move. Yeah, I think Greece has done a good job defending this. so far. But I believe that Atlantis' ability to resupply and reinforce is just unmatched. At this point, you have 132 military on the field for Atlantis versus less than 30 for Greece. And your production buildings are going down. At least the cavalry side is. Dare I say it, in my opinion, at this point, it's over. Eco is with Atlantis. The map control is with Atlantis. The momentum is with Atlantis. As my buddy Pyrometire says, Casper is out of... What did he say? He says out of... he's in an airplane, out of altitude and ideas. It's something else. It's blank altitude and ideas. Why am I blanking on this phrase that my buddy uses all the time? The point is, Greece is dying and he has no options. The fortress goes down. This is the end. I don't know how long it's going to take for Casper to call GG on this, but I do not see any miracle plays happening here. Yeah, we're waiting for the end here. Guys, hope you enjoyed game one. If you did, we're not done yet. We got a second game to get into, but I do strongly encourage you guys to like and subscribe. I really, really appreciate those of you that do that. It means a lot. I always get excited for this YouTube journey. It's a lot of fun to watch the view numbers go up and have comments and people like the videos. Just watching the channel grow like that, it's really awesome. It means a lot. So, Casper just letting this thing kind of draw out to the very end. I guess he's massing it for one last hurrah. No, it's a fort. Vortex. Oh, where are you? Okay, good catch there on the bills. That's a lot of villagers that are going to go down. Alright, my dude. Alright. Now, I will take this a little in the action to say probably... Let's just put it this way. Alright, Casper's still floating 4,000 wood, 2,000 food. Which maybe could have been leveraged better to help him out in the defense. MFD, my dude, you have 14,000 food in the bank as well as 6,000 gold. And... you know, it's useful if you need to rebuild an army fast, so I'll grant you that, but there's nothing stopping you from going up to H5. I'm actually going to fast forward because this game is over, and I just want to see, you know, is he slowing down for some reason, or... I don't see a wonder being killed anywhere. Yeah, I think they're just taking that sweet time. I think they're just enjoying the game. Here we go. This has to be the last push, right? We've got the palace firing on the temple. Okay. So, you have used your last god power, because you don't have any more favor in the bank, right? What are you going to do with 30 favor? Allure? Whatever he's got left, he's putting into the temple. That house will not save you. What about just slow down a little bit, just so we can watch the action, you know? This has to be the last battle. And there are enough arty on the field that even the cavalry are just getting melted by the archers. The Cochotes stand no chance. There it is! MFD pulls off the win for game one of our best of 3 series. Can Casper turn it around? Let's find out in game 2. And here we are, guys, game 2 of our best of 3 series, Casper versus MFD. We have Casper switching over from Poseidon to Zeus. This is a really cool use of the tournament rules, by the way. As the loser of the first game, Casper is allowed to continue playing as the Greeks. He can't play Poseidon, but if he feels more comfortable with the Greeks, he is allowed to pick Zeus or Hades, and he has gone with Zeus for game 2. Meanwhile, MFD, as the winner of game 1, must pick a different faction. And MFD has gone with Loki of the Norse. So, this should be an interesting match. I think I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Let's get through Age 1, see how the early eco develops. What are your guys' opinions? Let me know in the comments on, like, fast-forwarding through the early stages of the game. You know, do you think it's more fun to kind of get into Age 2, Age 3 quickly so that we can see the action? Or do you enjoy that early lull, you know, watching the economy develop? Because it is a huge part of the game. I mean, we can tell from things like how villagers are being distributed, what sort of strategies might be employed here. Temple coming up for Casper right away, just like last time. Meanwhile, over with Loki, a lot of bills on food, wanting to get to Age 2 quickly, I'm sure. Here comes a temple for the Norse. I would think almost certainly, surely the Norse will hit the next age faster, right? Yeah, Age 2 coming online. And we see Heimdall, the god of vigilance. A focus on buildings. That suggests to me, unless I'm missing something about the Heimdall pig, a more defensive approach? Yes, yeah. Hermes, god of messengers, focus on cavalry. Will we see more cav play coming from Zeus this go round? Zeus is considered kind of an infantry god. His hoplites are improved. They're very good. But we might be seeing cav play. Casper. Let me be clear, I'm not saying it's a mistake to go cavalry. In fact, I think it might be a mind game that is very effective. Longhouse and a great hall in the middle of the map, so forget everything I said about, you know, defensive play. No, we're setting up for some kind of early attack here. Good news, Casper does see it coming. Okay. The Einherri, we heard the horn earlier. Slow-moving unit that boosts the speed and attack of nearby units with a horn blast. Good against human soldiers and buildings. Honestly, it sounds to me like a very good support unit that would, you know, buff up nearby human units. Probably, I mean, I guess it would buff myth units too, but you only need 1 or 2 of these to buff up an army of humans. That's how I would imagine using that here.
Έτοιμος, πρόσταγμα.
Only a couple of centaur right now. The military numbers definitely in Loki's favor. Eco is even right now. I'm really curious. I mean, are we going to see some early aggression from Loki? I want to find out. We're seeing slow eco expansions for both players. The Norse have just picked up a second settlement, so that means that MFD, has the opportunity to really boom his economy. We saw that. I honestly think it was MFD's eco that carried him in that last game. You know, I think militarily it went back and forth who had the momentum, who had the better army, but the economy was pretty handily in MFD's hands for almost all of that fight. And that's what got them the win. So, could we see a repeat where the economy that Loki brings to the table gives him the win? I don't know, but he has potential right now. Currently, the eco's even, but it's 1 TC versus 2. Militarily, Loki definitely has an advantage. And we see once again, I think that Ceasefire is getting the most action in this series that I have seen. Spy, meanwhile, being used. Let's see who got spied on. No. Here we go. Alright, it looks like the spy is one of these hoplites, if I'm not mistaken. So, with spy, Loki is able to see everything that hoplite can see. So, this is a lot of info. You know, he can see when his enemy's moving out. Oh no, I'm wrong. It's one of the centaurs. All right. The armory is up. Dwarves. Dwarves.
Hver þar? Tilbúin? Skipan?
Skipan. You gotta love them. They are collecting the gold faster than your average villager. That's dwarves' thing. In case you don't know, dwarves collect gold faster, but they collect other resources slower than your typical settler. If you play as Thor, the dwarves are almost as good at collecting other resources as settlers are. Not quite, but pretty close. But if you're playing anybody else, like Loki, for example, you really don't want dwarves on wood or food or whatever. You want them on gold. You want them mining. They yearn for the mines, quite literally. Wow. Wow. This is... Do you call this a defensive strat? What is this? MFD. Is this a real strat, or is this kind of like taunting? You know? Like I'm locking you into your own base. You want to stay cooped up, little turtle? Okay. Then cooped up you will stay. The irony, of course, I think this is a little bit of a bait. If Casper really wants to attack, there's nothing stopping him from just going around. Attack. But it's kind of like a bullfighter with his red cape, you know? It's like you're putting something in front of the centaurs to fight. You want to shoot something, shoot this, and shoot they will. Which means that, you know, if you're spending time shooting a wall, you're not spending that time shooting down, I don't know, bills, heroes, whatever. And once again, I think we're seeing kind of the same situation as last time. Eco-wise, well, in fact, militarily, it's just about even. 51 to 54. In fact, the value of the army right now is in Casper's side. He's got the stronger army right now. In a head-on fight, Casper should win this, at least as far as resources are concerned. But the eco is so far into Loki's favor that I think, you know, even if Casper wins that fight and destroys Loki's army, you blink 5 seconds later, Loki has a whole new army ready to go because of the stronger economy. And Age 3 is coming up for Loki. Age 3 not on the way yet. What? Even. Speak and he shall appear. Dionysius on the way. The same minor god choices as we saw from Poseidon. It makes me wonder, even if Casper does win this game, like, what would Casper do in Game 3? You can't pick the Greeks anymore. You can't pick Hermes into Dionysius. Just to be clear, I'm not making fun of Casper, by the way. I think that's awesome. Actually, that's when I was coming up with the rules for the tournament. This is what I had in mind, was the idea that, you know, you'd be able to pick, you know, if you lose game 1, you pick a god and a city you're comfortable with, and you can use very similar strategies. So I really like what Casper's doing here. And honestly, the way Casper's playing this reminds me so much of myself. I find that I typically play Age of Empires this way. But when I play AoE 2, I'm really good at getting out a strong army early, and then getting into these situations where I have the better army than my opponent, but I just let the economy lax in favor of momentum. and I end up losing because my opponent has better eco control and can just resupply his army far better. So I'm definitely, as I'm casting this, I see so much of myself in Casper. Now I think that Casper's defensive approach. Oh wow! I think that was a mistake. No, you want to take that fight while he's in the chokehold. Don't cast. No, you're letting yourself get surrounded. Okay, Bolt coming in. That's a nice pickup there, but here, we're gonna slow this down because any second now, Ceasefire runs out and then the battle begins. Here we go. Oh my goodness, what is this? What is, we have, is that, not Earthquake, what is this called? Undermine. Which, let's be honest, Undermine is basically Earthquake, right? We're talking about the same kind of thing. And whoever wins this battle, I think Loki wins it. Because even if the Greeks pull off this fight, which it looks like they're not, it looks like they are melting here. But even if they did win that fight, just the economic strength that the Norse would bring to the table makes all the difference here. I saw some blue arrows. I know that Draugr are not in this game. That's like rare. I don't think a Draugr. Jotun. They're more siege weapons than anything. Good against buildings, decent against buildings. And there we go. That was Casper's. I was about to say only settlement, but no. Casper did have a second settlement. But yeah, there's no army. I'm gonna fast forward this because once again, it's we have 100 bills to less than 50. 100 military to 10. Yeah. They're gonna draw this out, but we know who won. Congratulations, MFD. Moving on to the semifinals. MFD, a very strong competitor, seems to know his stuff and has a really good way of playing. In this game, great combination of military pressure, eco focus. Yeah, MFD, really good spot. Casper was our Age of Empires 3 Noob Cup champion. I really appreciate him stepping back into the ring once again. I think he was a good player. I think that this is actually maybe I'll go ahead and say maybe the most exciting quarterfinal. Not quarterfinal, most exciting quarterfinal in the series so far. Both players really brought their A game and I think did a good job. But MFD just bringing that extra oomph into the fight. And that means he will be victorious. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this tournament. We are waiting for one of them to finally call the GG. I say one of them, as if there's any world in which Casper actually falls around there. He's not. We have, what is, Fimbulwinter. Yeah, that's come on, man. Come on, just go in there and end it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this game. Again, if you do enjoy these videos, please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel. All of those little things really help out. I mean, for one, I enjoy them, but also, it does help with getting more people to watch the videos, and it helps with, just keeping these adventures going. Both for me personally as a creator, as well as for the YouTube system and all that. So, definitely please consider. If you like it, like it. If you want to see more, subscribe. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks so much. And there it is, right on cue. Casper calls the GG, and MFD moves on to the semifinals. Well done, MFD. Guys, Thanks so much. Like, subscribe, leave me your comments. For now, this is yours truly, the Iron Kaiser here at Iron Kaiser Gaming, signing off. Have a great one out there.